So it is kind of like a cozy fall day today. Like the weather has been pretty cool recently. I hope it stays this way. I know it's gonna get hot again this weekend, which I am not looking forward to. I was very excited for it to finally be cool. So I have a couple of upcoming markets and I have been preparing for that with like trying to design my setup. I have a lot to think about when it comes to that. So I've been looking at like reference pictures for what other people have done for their market setups and kind of just trying to figure out how to display my different items and also start buying things for the setup itself. But in preparation for the markets, I will have to start building up my stock a little bit more. So today I will be trying to restock some of the phone charms that have sold out. So let's go work on some phone charms and then, yeah. These are all the charms that I've made so far. Right now they're all like unpainted and unglazed, obviously, so they don't have their faces, which looks a little terrifying sometimes. This week has been really slow for me because I've been a little bit sick, so I wanted to share all the things that I got for my market. Starting off with, I got a square reader so I could take card payments. It comes with like a little manual book teaching you kind of how to set it up. And then obviously the reader itself, it takes chip and NFC payments. It comes with a little charging cable as well. And then I got these little heart hooks to display my phone charms. I wanted something with a closed loop, and this one fit the bill and was cute. And then I got a bunch of sticker paper and laminate because I was out. And then this next thing, I'll show a picture of what it actually looks like, but this is like a little 3-tier display thing that I got. And then, last but not least, I got these modular cubes. I originally wanted to go with something more like craftsy for my display. I feel like a lot of convention artists use this, and I feel like that doesn't really fit my brand that much, but I realize that people use them because it's convenient and offers a little bit of privacy for stuff that you put behind it. But don't mind me struggling to put this together for my first time. Here I am working on some signage for my display. So I just printed out everything on cardstock and put the self-adhesive laminate on it to kind of protect it. I didn't really mean for it to happen, but my display kind of gives Animal Crossing vibes, which I guess kind of fits the aesthetic of my shop anyways. I had tried my signs in the light pastel blue I usually use for some reason it just didn't look that good on the white cubes that I got, so I switched to this beige, which I think pairs nicely with a lot of my items and kind of ties in the wood elements of like the 3-tier display I bought. So I just cut all my signs out using my silhouette machine because it was a lot easier that way. It did take a little bit of trial and error to figure out the cut settings for cutting out the cardstock with the laminate. I'm quite happy with how my signs came out. I think they came out pretty nice, and they're pretty satisfying to make. I'm not sure what part of my brain was delusional enough to think that if I got ready, my headache would magically go away. We're learning that makeup does not make headaches go away, so doctors, please write that down. But I've been preparing for my upcoming market event in October. As you can see, we have like a very jank test setup going on over here. The signs have fallen off, but I have made like the actual signs that I'll be using. I'm actually very nervous for my market events. I think my crafting is going a lot slower than I thought it would. Yeah, you just watched that fall. Okay. I have been working on like doing a lot of market prep stuff. I still have to make like my sign and buy a tablecloth, and there's just a lot of things to think about. I think slightly might be an understatement, but I am slightly overwhelmed by all the things that need to be done before the market. I've tried to write like a to-do list to kind of manage that overwhelmingness, but seeing like a massive list of all the things that you need to do is also overwhelming in its own way. I'll be closing my shop tomorrow just so I can have time to like kind of prep everything for the market and also just get better inventory count and that kind of stuff. I don't know, I just have a lot of self-doubt regarding this front. I think it is natural to have self-doubt when like trying out new things, and selling my art in person is one of them. I think I might spend a little bit of time redecorating my space. It is still in its summer theme, and we're at the end of September now. Like, it is definitely fall, and I am a little behind on getting my fall decorations up. So, take a little break from work and do something fun. Right now, I am feeling pretty overwhelmed in terms of preparing for my markets and kind of also running my shop. I'm really not set up at all, and my market's in a week, and I'm panicking right now. I think things will go better than I imagine them right now, or they will go worse because I'm like woefully unprepared. So I've been doing a pretty bad job of filming these past few weeks. I honestly have been feeling pretty overwhelmed and stressed out about preparing for these events, and I haven't had a very good week. But I'm trying to push through it while still remembering to be gentle with myself. Kind of as a result of preparing for the markets, I've also had like a tendonitis flare up, which has been kind of not fun. I've been doing a lot of repetitive manual labor of like putting together earrings and phone charms and those kinds of things. There's a lot of things I didn't really film or update on, like I last minute finished up an illustration for a new sticker sheet design, or I'd actually had this design drawn up for a while, but I didn't get around to finishing the illustration itself. So I did that and made those. I also did a reprint of my Daily Moods sticker sheet, and I originally wanted them to be clear sticker sheets, but because of the paper smudging issues and whatnot, it didn't really work out, so I ended up just making it a regular sticker sheet. But then I did the silly mistake of having it cut out at the wrong size, so I had to manually go back and cut each sticker sheet so it would fit in my containers. I've also been working on like my signage and my displays. It was pretty fun to see everything come together. I think I was quite worried about how they would turn out, and I don't know why, but I have like this thought in my brain that I have to get it right this time. But looking back, like, it's okay if I'm not 100% satisfied with my display. Like, it is something that I can always change in the future. Like, I'm not locked into this display or anything. So far, I'm pretty satisfied with the finished result. I made this cute little chalkboard sign with my QR code for my social medias on it. My hand lettering isn't the best, but I am pretty happy with how it came out. I think it looks pretty cute. So yesterday I tested out my display, and I actually meant to film my process of testing out my display. It was pretty much the same as how I sketched it out, I think, and had it imagined in my head. I'll show you some photos of how the test turned out. I also made like a little like banner garland sign kind of situation out of felt. I just cut it out by hand because I don't have a craft blade for my silhouette. So today I'll just be working on some miscellaneous tasks that still need to be done and kind of just double checking things. I'm actually mostly packed so far. My stuff doesn't take up that much space. This is my first event, so I'm not like 100% sure of all the things I need to bring and whatnot. I also made this little pouch. This realizing that this is not little at all, this is like literally massive. But I have this pouch of just stationery items that I might need. So I have like stickers, and maybe I'll bring post-it notes in here too. But I just have a bunch of random items like tape and like pens and scissors and all that kind of stuff that I might need the day of. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything too important because that would actually be terrible. But the event is tomorrow, so I don't really have a lot of time to be panicking. So I kind of just wanted to sit down and kind of chat about the market and kind of just recap everything that happened. I didn't really film that much the day of the market, so I didn't do as well at the market as I would have liked. I think there are several components to why that happened. I think I did kind of have high expectations going into it. I know expectation management is like a big thing when it comes to expectations and like how things turn out and how you reflect on things. And I wouldn't say I did a great job of managing my expectations, and I'll try to get into that a little bit later. But as for the event itself, I think there were several factors that went into why I didn't do that good. First of all, it was very, very hot that day. It was like almost 100 degrees, and I think that definitely impacted the foot traffic to the market, and especially with the way my booth was situated. So, the location of the booths that I was in, my side was facing the sun and was in the sun basically the duration of the market, and I think that definitely impacted whether or not people visited my booth. I definitely noticed the other side had a lot more foot traffic and just more people ducking into the booths to kind of get out of the sun. I also wasn't really sure if I was reaching my target audience with this market. I noticed the large majority of people who came to this event were mostly families with small children, and I'm not sure if my items particularly appeal to small children, especially since like my items are so small, so they are like choking hazards for small children. I think another component of it was my display. My items are quite small, and I don't really have any large eye-catching items to draw people in from far away. Like, you do have to be quite close to my booth to actually see what I sell. So I think that is something that I personally can improve on. So I was able to make back the table fee and the money I spent on food and transportation for that day, but I didn't make as much money as I would have liked, especially since I spent a lot of money on my display items as well as materials for making products, and I would have liked to earn a little bit more money so I can put more money forward into new products, especially with the upcoming holiday season. I also kind of wanted to get into kind of my headspace, like leading up to the event as well as after the event. I'm not sure if it came across in this vlog, but definitely when I was watching back the footage, I noticed my energy levels and kind of like my happiness and mental health decline slowly as the event got closer and closer. I think there are a lot of things that I need to learn, and part of it was balance. I did try my best to plan out some time for social activities as well as just downtime, but I don't think I did a very good job of that. There were a lot of days that I worked late into the nights. Even when I was resting, I was spending a lot of time thinking about the market event and like stressing about it. I think now that I've gotten the first one out of the way, there are a lot of things that I have kind of figured out and know that I don't need to worry about as much, so hopefully the future events will be a lot less stressful. I think one of the good things about not selling out of everything is now this week and next week I don't have to stress as much to make products for my next event, which is on October 19th. I think I definitely put a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself on the weeks leading up to the event. Okay, hi, editing Ivana here. I don't think I phrased what I wanted to say very well in this portion. What was happening in the weeks leading up to the market was I felt very stressed about the market. There was stress from like worrying about different things not going right. I don't know about you, but I am a little bit of a perfectionist, not a lot, but I was like imagining disasters in my head, like, oh my god, what if my tent flies away, or I can't take payments or whatever, and I was just really stressed about those things. And on top of that, like, I was kind of sick and I wasn't making as many products as I would have liked, and I was like, I only have 5 of this charm. And looking back, that's not a huge deal, but I just started seeing it as a reflection of my ability as an artist, and that just wasn't a very good mindset to have, and it just kind of like ate away at me. Obviously, a lot of the pressure and stress that I felt from preparing for this event was self-inflicted. Obviously, it didn't help me, and if anything, it made the whole process more difficult. And kind of because of like my poor mental health at that point, it made me really reflect on myself as an artist. Okay, back to the video. I started to dig myself into the I'm not good enough hole, where I just was thinking that the stuff that I'm making wasn't good and I didn't really like it and I didn't feel proud of what I was making, and that is a hole you don't want to be in. I really want to feel proud of myself and the things that I make, and in those 2 weeks leading up to the market, I definitely didn't feel like that, and I want to have better preventative measures for not getting to that point again. There are a lot of things I need to think about and consider when it comes to my shop moving forward to hopefully not get to that hole again. I'm not even sure if I'm fully out of that hole. Mental health chatting. I think running a small business and doing market events is not as happy and fun as people make it out to look. I think I definitely perpetuate those ideas sometimes. I'm not sure what the moral of this story is. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video of me preparing for my first market. This vlog was kind of haphazardly put together since my mental health was kind of not in a great spot, and that made me not want to film. But I've been resting and kind of just relaxing these past 3 days and not doing a whole lot of work, so I've been feeling a lot better and a little more hopeful for future projects and events. But thank you for watching until the end. I will see you guys next time.